Hey everybody, Danny Greco, Keller Williams here. I've got 2020 stats for May available and there is a lot to dig through, so I'm gonna jump right into this one, starting with single family home values. So remember, typically May is the 1 month of the year where we typically see prices at their highest. That's typically the peak season for sellers. So values are at their highest. In 2019, that's what we saw. In 2018, that's what we saw when we reached an all-time high of 830,000 for the median sales price. 2020, what were we gonna see? Now, remember last month we had 815,000 was the median single-family home sale in Seattle. You would think that would probably continue, right? But oh yeah, there's that little thing called COVID-19 and the coronavirus that went into effect mid-March that really affected purchasing in April, which of course would have closed in May. So again, remember how real estate statistics works. It's always a little bit lagging, right? What's showing up in May actually happened in February or so, if not earlier. So same thing, what we're going through today is going to be reflected in stats 30, 60 days beyond. So anyway, we actually took quite a big step back. Median sale price in Seattle for a single family home ended at $765,000. Not cheap by any means, but a big drop from the month before, which was $815,000. Surprisingly, less than a 3% drop year over year. This time last year, they were at $785,000. So really only about a 3%, less than 3% drop year over year, when given we were in the middle of a global worldwide pandemic and an entire shutdown of the economy. Not too bad to only be down that much, right? So pretty impressive, and that's exactly the word I've been using to describe our market, is impressively resilient with how we've come. So mainly a lot of that is fueled by just low inventory. And again, we are really pretty low. 1.6 months of inventory for Seattle at the end of May. That's up just slightly from 1.4 in April. Again, COVID has a lot to do with that. Typically you would see more houses coming on the market, but a lot of people still gun shy maybe about putting their house on the market. So that is keeping inventory low and keeping prices high because it's remaining competitive out there for buyers. So for your Seattle neighborhoods, the neighborhood, let's see here, of Magnolia, Queen Anne and Magnolia, get this, 24% year over year increase in appreciation. I don't know what's going on in Magnolia and Queen Anne that explains something like that. That is just massive, but clearly by far and away the winner in appreciation this month. Now, let's jump over into the condo market. And guys, we are continuing to see just two entirely different markets out there. You've got your single family home market, low in inventory, rich, heavy in buyers, and that is producing bidding wars. A lot of angst, a lot of frustration that we would typically see in those March, April, May months, now getting postponed into the June and beyond, with everything getting on delay there because of the COVID. And we are not seeing that at all in condos. Condos have, again, it's become their own market. So last month, condos ended at $469,000 was the median sale price for a condo. That was actually up this month to $485,000. However, year over year, that's down about 2%, which really isn't bad. And again, that's all taken into consideration, the COVID and everything. I mean, I'd consider that a win to only be down 2% year over year and even up over last month. However, the softening in that market is really starting to show. And what I mean by that is what I'm looking at is inventory. Over the last 2 months, inventory has really ballooned, and in some areas just really ballooned. So a few months ago, earlier in the year, first quarter still, condos were kind of where single family homes are now, 1.5, maybe 2 months of inventory. That's now in Seattle at an average of 4 months of inventory. So for context, again, market equilibrium is around 2.5 to 3 months, where buyers and sellers kind of have equal leverage. Not really a buyer's market, not really seller's market. 2.5 to 3 months kind of being the threshold there. Already at 4 months for condos, and that's for Seattle in general. if you're trying to sell a condo in Belltown right now, good luck. Over 7 months of inventory. Other areas certainly well beyond that too. 4 months in both West Seattle, 4 months in South Seattle. Very, very hard to try and sell condos. There are just not buyers and not demand out there. Reasons for that, that's a really good question. I don't know that just yet, but we are in May starting to see signs of that softening right now. Now, typically, both single family and condo inventory, that typically peaks late summer. So August, maybe September, maybe October, definitely around September area. So to already see Seattle at 4 months of inventory for condo in May, 4 months before we hit the peak, I'm thinking it's gonna get really bad for condo sellers over the next 4 to 6 months, and really possibly advantageous for condo buyers in that market. Now, of course, who knows? The market could turn tomorrow. Things can make me look like a complete fool. Who knows? But I am already starting to see signs of cracking in that market softening, and really a big departure from where it was just a few months ago, where at the beginning of the year, condos were really more resilient than single family homes had been, and that has just completely flipped. So it's been interesting to watch. So we'll see what happens with next month. As always, if you want more information, reach out to me and we can talk then.